And this is very interesting because if you go back to 2018, there's actually a document that exists that says that the Russian central bank has actually been testing out and eventually will most likely move to using the Ripple system, using RippleNet. We already know that Ripple has been expanding into the Middle East huge lately. Let me tell you, I hear a lot of stuff from the Middle East. A lot of these leaders, they are very interested in not just Ripple from an investment standpoint, but also from a RippleNet standpoint. We know they're moving into North Africa, which is very similar to the Middle East. They're very closely connected. We know it's moving into the APAC region, the Pacific, Asia. It's moving in there. We know they're making moves in South America as well. They're making moves everywhere. So it stands to reason that Russia, could be a target, for Ripple in the short term here, coming up in, I don't know, maybe the next few years or so.
Do you think XRP is the accepted currency for cross-border transfers? More importantly, will RippleNet outperform SWIFT, the current giant in cross-border transfers? Without a doubt, XRP is gaining popularity across the globe, and with good reason. This network harnesses the power of blockchain technology to ensure smooth and fast cross-border payments, which is currently luring investors to partner with Ripple. The company has been making partnerships from every country, including China and Russia, despite the tense relationship between these countries and the United States. An increasingly high number of business owners are testing this network, while some have already committed themselves to utilizing it in their payment systems. Today, we are going to talk about how the BRICS nations are eyeing RippleNet and plan to use it in their day-to-day activities. But before that, let's roll that intro. As always, we welcome you to MoneySide, your favorite crypto channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you get updates when we drop new videos. And don't forget to smash that like button, and you can always leave a comment or question in the section below.
Is the SWIFT system, and why is this such a big deal? Well, in theory, if Russia was completely removed from the SWIFT system, they would not be able to transfer money outside dollars, the world reserve currency, outside of their borders, okay? But what the SWIFT system is, you can think of it kind of like it's an exchange of data. So if you want to send a cross-border transaction, you do it through the SWIFT system. No money is actually moved around, really. It's all accounting, right? So the SWIFT system is like almost a network, like an internet of data, like a network of data where accounting information moves all around the world. You could certainly say this adds to the derivatives mess that we're in. Are they actually always, making sure the money goes where it needs to go? I'm not sure, but it's really slow. However, over the last couple of years, they made some big changes. One was they got it to where all of the information, all the data could go from one country to another in hotspots, in highly trafficked countries where there's a lot of transfers. They could do it in like 30 minutes. But the money would not actually move for 3 to 5 days. Recently, they came out and said they've actually got it to the point now where the data can move around in as little as like 10 seconds, which way faster than it had been. But it's really moving stuff around, and it is an archaic system. Like, it's been around since 1974. Like, guys, a lot of technology has changed since 1974. You would think we could do something easier, but banks are the absolute last organizations across the world to adopt any changes. Why? Because, they like the traditional system. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're already in control of all the money and power. Why would they really feel the need to change? Okay. So when you look at what Ripple offers compared to SWIFT, Ripple can actually send the transaction, not just the information. With SWIFT, it's a two-part system. So you send the information, the accounting information, and then the money comes 3 to 5 days later, in best case, honestly. With Ripple and RippleNet, this is all done in 30 seconds. If you think of SWIFT as the as a network, let's call it network instead of internet. If you call it a network of data transfer, then RippleNet is a network of value transfer, because you can actually send the funds through the XRP token.
The BRICS are planning to use a federal currency that's beyond the Western influence, and that's where XRP comes in. In 2014, Russia invaded Crimea and that was the start of everything. The U.S. banned Americans from ever doing business with Russian banks, oil and gas, and other corporations. And that sent the Russian economy tumbling down, including the stock exchange market. More importantly, these sanctions imposed on Russia cost that country over $50 billion annually. Thankfully, since then, the demand for digital currencies skyrocketed. With crypto, Russia can easily continue conducting its business without having any restrictions. Now, that's good news for Russians, but it's bad news for countries who sanctioned Russia. Additionally, the Biden administration added further sanctions to Russia in response to their invasion of Ukraine. According to several sources, Russia has been partnering with different companies to at least mitigate the effects of those sanctions. These companies then use digital currencies to legally evade government control, especially when it comes to money transfers through banks. It would be absurd to think that the Russians didn't see this coming. For a long time, the U.S. has had a reputation of using sanctions to help control countries they do not view as allies. And since the U.S. dollar is the world's reserve currency, the U.S. can use sanctions as a diplomatic tool or tactic to help control a country. Case in point, what's going on with Russia? The U.S. is also investigating cryptos as a tool that can be used to mitigate the effects of their sanctions. Now, to that effect, the Fed has created a list of companies that its citizens must avoid, hence imposing sanctions. If anyone communicates with the companies on that list, they get fined heavily. In essence, banks play a crucial role in the enforcement of these sanctions. The World Bank, to be specific, acts as the central pivot point since they can see where the money comes from and where it's going to. Typically, the world banks are obliged by the anti-money laundering laws to obstruct transactions with sanctioned countries and then notify the authorities in case of anything. As you can see, banks act as a snitch, or rather the eyes and ears of the federal government. However, with the rise of crypto, the Fed can't control everything and they are not able to see what's happening. Banks are obliged by law to follow the Know Your Customer regulations, which is a procedure used to confirm the identity of their customers. Unfortunately, exchanges aren't as effective when it comes to tracking their customers. Recently, the Treasury Department issued a warning to the government stating that cryptos pose a severe threat to the sanctions program, and it is up to the U.S. authorities to become knowledgeable about the technology. So far, Russia has enough crypto instruments at its disposal. If they decide to completely avoid sanctions, the Russians only need to find ways to continue doing business without using dollars. And as we speak, Russia is creating its own digital currency, which could potentially help them to circumvent the U.S. dollar. This currency will be used to conduct trade with other nations willing to work with the country without having to use the U.S. dollar. And additionally, the Kremlin might use ransomware and other software to steal digital currencies and replace the lost money due to sanctions. Even though the digital currency transactions are recorded on the blockchain, Russia has now developed new strategies that can ideally hide the origin of the transaction. With this tech, Russia can continue to conduct its transactions with less hostile nations without the U.S. knowing about it. And the funny thing is, these methods have been used already and are working. According to several sources, North Korea and Iran are implementing the use of digital currencies to reduce the impact of sanctions on their nations. North Korea, on several occasions, has used ransomware to steal digital currencies and finance its nuclear development section. Now, China, alongside the BRICS nation, are working towards shifting the status quo, and all that begins with embracing digital currencies in the financial systems. The BRICS nations altogether are larger than the U.S., and with that, these nations move away from the U.S. dollar. The U.S. will have no hold on sanctions. That could potentially harm the U.S. dollar, and over time, this currency will stop being the world reserve currency. So what do you think is going to happen? Will these countries finally expose that they've been working with RippleNet and intend to launch CBDCs on their ledgers? Will Ripple finally take the bold step, move to Canada? That could be the final blow that the U.S. dollar just can't take and hurt the U.S. economy. After that, chances are things will only get worse for Americans. The only thing that could save the U.S. is if they work together with Ripple instead of suing them. As always, do your own research and always trade safely, guys. Please keep in mind we're not a licensed financial advisor. All videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. You can always let us know what you think in the comment section below, and let's have a conversation. Thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and please click on that subscribe button below and turn on notifications so you get informed whenever we post our amazing content. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next money side.